Hello, everybody. I'm sitting here with HR representative manager, Jessica Humiston. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you.
We just have some questions for you.
Okay.
First, we'll go ahead and start off. How did you find Three Amigos? How did your partnership with Three Amigos begin?
Okay. I found Three Amigos through LinkedIn. We were researching ways to find some applicants in our area. The market was a little bit dry, and we had this idea of bringing in kind of people from other areas. And an attorney actually said to me, "Why don't you think of bringing in people from Puerto Rico?" And we had never thought of that. And so we started researching, and that's how I came across Three Amigos.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Are you happy with your decision?
I am happy with our decision.
Oh, wonderful.
We've gotten a lot of great candidates through them. So
Excellent,
yeah.
excellent. So happy to hear that. Next question. How would you describe your experience working with Three Amigos? I can hold it if you like.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, that's fine. No, they've been great. We've had a great relationship. They're attentive to our needs. If we ask for a certain number of people, we almost always get that number. And it's been a really good working relationship.
Wonderful. Wonderful to hear. In your opinion, what is Three Amigos' best quality?
They're personable, so I think that's what we like the most about them. Easy going to work with, but definitely very personable, and I think that's important. You know, these are people, they're not just, you know, a machine or a number, so it's important that we kind of have that human quality in, you know, bringing people in, so that is pretty important to us here.
Yeah, the personal touch.
It is.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent. How would you describe the quality of the workers that Three Amigos has provided for you?
Overall, I think they're a really good group. You know, there's been some things along the way that, right, with like anything else, where it hasn't been the best, but I think overall we've kind of gotten it down to a pretty good science now, and I think we've really kind of determined what kind of candidates we need here, and I've gotten a lot of compliments on the last, you know, probably over the last year on the quality of the person coming in. So in the beginning it was a little bit difficult. I think we just didn't have that relationship where you knew what we needed, we knew what we needed, but I think we have gotten to a point where they're really good quality applicants, and they also want to stay past the 6 months, so that's important too.
Excellent. So like over time kind of worked out the kinks, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. How would you describe the service provided you by the Three Amigos staff?
Yeah, excellent. I think the service is excellent. You guys have been great to us. So.
Well, we love you guys. So
Appreciate
tell us and explain the number one reason you would recommend Three Amigos to other businesses.
It's really kind of made our business for us, right? If we didn't have the number of people that you guys bring in to us, I really don't know where we'd be. I mean, right now today, I think I told you there's 57 workers here. 6 have kind of transitioned to that full-time, staying in Plattsburgh status, but really it's made a big difference in how we provide service to our customers. So it's definitely been a game changer for us.
Excellent. Wonderful answer and wonderful to hear. What do you look for in candidates from the TN and Puerto Rico programs?
They have to be dependable. That's kind of our most important thing. They have to be willing to learn. I think that's super important because it is a little bit different, our business, than what a lot of other people do. And I think just the flexibility is definitely important to us too. You know, it may be that, you know, you bring somebody in and that may not be where we end up needing to place them at the end just because of how we do business. So I think those are things that are pretty important to us.
Excellent, excellent. And how do you evaluate the performances of employees recruited through the TN program and the Puerto Rican program?
The value of their performance? They've all done really well. I mean, I think, you know, in our group, how quickly you sort of advance is based on you. You know, that's based on the skills that you want to achieve and how quickly you want to get signed off on your skill block. I have seen quite a few of these guys kind of really trying to get that work done. I know Carlos is actually taking classes, I heard, on plastic to kind of relate a little bit more to our business. So, I would say the quality is the same as, what we would see here locally, probably even a little better in some ways because you guys kind of know what we need now. So very similar, but I do think they have that ability to advance pretty quickly if they'd like to.
Excellent. Wonderful to hear. If you could say one thing to the team, the entire team of Three Amigos, what would you say?
Thank you.
I love that. Perfect.
Thank you. No, really, we've had a great working relationship, and I do thank you guys for everything you've done for us. You've been great, and you've been attentive when I've had to call you with issues or problems, or I can't bring someone this week. Let's bring them next week. Really, it's been a great working relationship. So thank you.
That's wonderful to hear. The feeling is completely mutual. What challenges have you faced with the TN visa or Puerto Rican program, and how have you addressed those challenges?
I think the biggest challenge, is a little bit of the fact that a little bit with interpersonal stuff. I think, sometimes people come as a couple, they're here a little bit and they're not a couple. So you're kind of moving rooms and adjusting to what you need to adjust to, right? And then, so that's been a little bit of a challenge. I think we've just learned to be flexible and kind of go with it. And then I think it's difficult for them. They're away from their family. We went through the holidays, and so I think some people think it's going to be easy to sort of be away from home for 6 months, and it's not. So that's been a little bit of a challenge too. But we also understand that they have a life that they need to go back to. So I think those are kind of the two biggest challenges that we've had. I think with the program is just kind of working through some of those issues that have as they come here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a change. It's understandable. How does Three Amigos Three Amigos Recruiting assist in resolving any issues that arise?
No, anytime we've brought up an issue, you guys are right there to kind of help us through the process. Sometimes it's advice. Sometimes you'll reach out to the person. So yeah, they've always been super helpful.
Wonderful. How do you gauge employee satisfaction among those recruited through the TN visa and Puerto Rico programs?
Well, we did just do an employee survey. So our employees, they were included in the group. We did offer it in both English and Spanish so that the guest worker program, if that's what we call them, had the opportunity to take the survey just as much as anybody else. I have seen those results. We are going to communicate that to employees, but I think overall there really wasn't much difference from them to what our normal staff would be. Transportation was a little bit of an issue, I think, for the guest workers, but unfortunately there's not a ton of options here, which is a little bit difficult. But overall, I think that it's very comparable to what we're seeing with the regular group.
Excellent. And how do you see the role of the TM visa and Puerto Rico programs evolving in your company's future?
I think it'll probably become a consistent part of what our culture will be. It's, this is a small town, very limited resources. So I think, bringing in talent from somewhere else, and I think it's important, number one, but also it seems to relate in pretty well to what we do. So I expect that this will continue for a long time.
Oh, I love hearing that. What strategies do you employ for your retention of your international employees?
What strategies? We do the housing, right? That kind of keeps, I think, them here. I think they appreciate the fact that that is a cost that we absorb. But the other part of that is they do get a sign-on bonus after they complete their 90-day period. And, they have health insurance like anybody else. They are eligible to enroll in our 401k on day one. Most of them do here. So they get all the same benefits that a regular MRP employee would get.
Lovely.
We don't distinguish them any different.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. Just a couple more questions,
Okay.
and we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
How does your Three Amigos recruiting, or how does Three Amigos recruiting contribute to these retention efforts?
I think I think you guys have kind of, again, like I said before, I think you figured out what we need, right? I think the first couple times, maybe it was like, okay, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. I think we've gotten it down to a pretty good science where you know what we need, and I think that helps our retention. You know that, if somebody doesn't come in or they don't, make it through your process, they're not going to make it through our process. So I think our relationship is what kind of helps people stay.
Wonderful, wonderful. Can you share any success stories or notable differences since partnering with Three Amigos Recruiting?
I can. So there's a couple people here. A couple people have started as machine operators. I have two guest workers currently that are in a lead operator role. So I think that they've kind of been promoted through the company, which is good. And from our first group of guest workers that we ever had here, 3 of those are still currently employed. One works as a QA, one works in the 2 work as a QA. And one still does a couple different things in the molding department. So again, they've kind of advanced with the company. So I think, they've had pretty good opportunities. They've been here a couple years now.
Yeah, that's like the most you can hope for when you get a job, right? Is to
move up a little bit and develop more skills, and I can see them kind of moving up even a little more if they chose to. So
that's good. Yeah, that's wonderful to hear. Okay, so I have 2 more questions for you. One of them's easy, but we'll start with this one. How has the partnership with Three Amigos influenced your workforce dynamic in general since we started working together in 2021?
Okay, so since 2021, I would say how it's influenced us is Plattsburgh doesn't have a lot of diversity. And we didn't really have a lot of diversity just because of that. So kind of adding in people that have a different background than what's people are used to here, I think it has changed us a little bit. And I think it has been for the better. I mean, I think it has kind of upped the work ethic a little bit more, as far as, people here may think like, oh, okay, well, there is somebody else that can do that job other than just me. But I also think it's been a good relationship as far as with the guys and the girls on the floor. But I do think it's been nice to see us kind of add that diversity to this area where there really isn't a lot. So.
Wow, I really love that answer. That's really cool.
We kind of joke about it. We said we should get a grant or something because we've added so many people to Plattsburgh. But no, it's just there isn't a lot here just based on the population. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool to hear. That's really awesome. Well, and lastly, last question. Okay. And this is just a yes or no question, and of course you can use the expression on your face. Are you happy to have Juan and me here at Mold Right Plastics?
Yes.
Oh, that's good to hear. We're happy to be here.
No, we're really happy to have you.
Yeah.
I think our management team is really happy to have you. I told them that you were here, and they're like, that is great that they're coming to check on their people. So yes, we're very happy to have you.
Well, we're happy to be here too. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're so happy to be here, and thank you guys so much for joining in as well. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.